Hi everyone, so I've just come on to do a quick video to show you how I made the cover for the last journal that I'm working on, this little one, because I didn't start doing the videos until I'd kind of got into doing the signatures, so I've never actually showed how I made the cover. So what I start off with is a tea box, and I just kind of pull the box apart. Now, I actually learned to do this by watching Pam at the Paper Outpost. Her video is fantastic, by the way, so if you haven't seen her yet, go along and watch because they are great. I'm going to keep this as short as I can just because of the upload problem. So when you've got a box like this, you've got a ready-made spine. So I'm going to keep that spine. I'm going to cut away the bits that we don't need. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decide that I'm keeping this bit, and I'm going to cut away down this edge. You can do it with a guillotine. Probably get a more accurate cut if you do it that way, but I didn't do it that way. So I've now got a kind of shell. So what I'm going to do is cut away the bottom bits because we're not going to use those. I'll keep them and maybe use them for something else, pocket or something like that at some point. But for this purposes, I don't need them. So they are going. So we've cut those off. And then I'm going to cut off, actually I'm going to cut off this end because we're not using that end. I'm going to cut that end off. That, and then I'm going to cut off along the top to get rid of all the little extra bits that we don't need to make our cover. So there we go, we've now got a cover. I'm just actually going to trim that up a tiny bit because it's not quite straight. Now it's better. Okay, so that's going to make it a little bit short there because I've cut off a little bit to make it straight. I'm just going to trim off another little bit here. Sort of even it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's not too bad. Right, okay, so here's all our bits and bobs that we have left over. They can all go in the bits and bobs of leftover pile over there. So then what I did is I took a bit of material. I've already cut it up. Just for the sake of keeping things quite fast. So this is going to be inside of our journal, okay? So we're going to have, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do it right because I did it wrong the other time, but it doesn't matter, I've covered it up. So I'm going to keep this as the inside, and I'm going to keep that as the outside, because then all of our decoration on the outside is going to cover up this, which is what we want to do. So this is going to be our inside, and this is what we're going to cover our inside with. So, excellent. First things first. What we're going to do is, I've cut my material, it's too big, okay? So I'm going to stick it down first, and then I'll trim it up a little bit so that we're sure that we've got the right amount of everything. So I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac because my window's open and get this stuck down. So I'm just going to put a bit all around the edge. All around the edge. Don't need very much of this glue because it's super strong. That's all around the edge. And I'm just going to put a little bit in the middle like that. And then just to make sure that it doesn't come through in kind of blobs, I'm just going to smear it out a little bit so it's all kind of spread out. Ugh, all gluey. Okay, so let's go. Let's just put it all down. Spread it all out. Now it will come through. This is just an old t-shirt, so the glue will, you'll feel it, it's sticky. So that's okay. Let's just make sure that's not going to fall down. Okay, so that's all our gluey stuff to stick down the inside of our book. And then we've got the outside of our book. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my fabric scissors and I'm just going to trim so that we don't have too much overhang to stick down. I'll just cut along here. We're covering all this up anyway with lace or whatever you want to cover it up with. So it's all going to be covered up. It doesn't matter if it's a bit uneven. It really is not going to show. So it just does not matter. But it's nice to just get rid of, so that we haven't got too much excess bobbling around. Okay, so that's that. And I am just going to trim off the top here. I'm gonna have to be careful near that bit because it's a little bit wonky. Just to get rid of the hem, because the hem is bulky and it will show through because it's all a bit bulky. So I'm gonna get rid of that, which is done. Okay, so here we go. It will come over enough to stick, I believe, just about. Whew. Close. Right, okay, so what I'll do here, let's get this top one done first because that's making me nervous. Okay, so let's stick it here, right up to the edge. We want to get the glue all along the top. To just give it a bit of a chance to stick. It doesn't take long, but that is that. Okay, we're going to do the rest down the side. Actually, I'll do the bottom. And then we can cut out the corners. So I've got a cat going crazy if you can hear him running around. Just because he doesn't really like me doing my craft. Right, okay. I'm going to stop that video there so it's not too long for upload. And I'll be back to do the next bit in a minute.